Okay, I wanted to get on here and I am gonna do a tarot card reading, but I just kind of want to speak for a moment. Um, okay, so I have, there's a nice person on here that's been leaving me comments on my videos, and um, the video I did, my last video I did, this person left me some like pretty in detail comments about their situation that they're in currently, in dealing with their, I don't know if it's their boyfriend or their husband, but she did say that she has a child with this person, and you know, she shared some pretty like not nice details about this person, you know, being physically violent. And you know, I could just relate to a lot of what you were saying, in terms of being in that type of toxic relationship and having a child with someone that is, you know, not a good person. You know, I don't know, again, like I don't know 100%, you know, every situation, everyone's different, right? And but she did say, and this is just my opinion, you know, you don't ever have to, you know, don't ever, we should never listen to someone. Like, all I can do is offer like my opinion and my advice. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, your own situation, you have to use your own intuition. And you know, all people can do is like offer, you know, their advice from what they've been through. And I feel like we've been through very similar things, in terms of having a child with someone like that, that keeps you, it's like we keep going back, right? And I was in a karmic toxic relationship for 10 years. 10 years before I got pregnant, okay? And I know the energy, and I know the feeling of being in a relationship like that. It's like we go back to them because, you know, the feeling of love, right, is so strong, right? We want to work things out, and we think it's going to be different, and no one really understands that. It's a, for me, in my experience, it was an energy, right? Like, we would have these huge blowouts, like screaming, fighting, just mind games, manipulating. And you know, I would think like, I've had enough, right? And I would leave, and a couple weeks go by, I'd be right back, right? Because it's like, it's almost like we get this empowerment. We feel like, you know, I'm gonna do it this time, right? I'm gonna stay. But then it's like this energy, it's like it sucks you back. It's so hard to explain unless you're in that. And it's like being on a merry-go-round in hell. Okay, like that's how I would describe it. You know, it's like, yeah, you can get off, right? But then it's like, when you get off the merry-go-round, it's almost like a feeling of you're lost. Like, where do I go? So then we go right back, we get right back on, because we don't know where to go, right? We don't know. That's the feeling that I always felt, okay? And but after I had my daughter, and I just knew that, yeah, we had some, you know, good times, right? But, and I did make a video on my channel talking about remembering like how we met, and like, yes, he was a person that I felt was a soulmate, but not every soulmate is good, okay? And the bad outweighed the good, right? And in one of the comments that this person left, she said she was not the type of person to keep her child away from this person that she has a child with. And I always felt that way too, okay? I would never keep my daughter from him, okay? But after having my daughter, and my whole pregnancy, he just treated me like absolute shit. Didn't buy anything for her, fought with me constantly. I mean, it was just constant, and it was worse because at the end of the day, I don't think, he didn't even, I think, even want a child, okay? But he would always say to me throughout the whole 10 years of being with, if we ever had a child, if you ever kept our child away from me, and he would say these scenarios like, almost like, because he wanted me to, like, it's almost like he was trying to drill into my head that I would never leave him because he knew he was a piece of shit, okay? So it's like, when we have children with these people, they know, okay, it doesn't matter what kind of facade or what kind of hard-ass front they put on to intimidate us, to keep us around. Having a child with someone like that is just another tool for these people to use to keep you stuck with them, okay? Because they know at the end of the day, when they're sitting alone, doing whatever they're doing, drinking, drugs, whatever their vice is, when they're alone, they know what a pile of shit they are, okay? And they know that you deserve better. But when you bring a child into it, it's like, it's just another way for them to manipulate you. And I can relate to that. Like, I thought the same thing. I would never, and I did, even when I left, right? I moved 5,000 miles away, okay? Even after that, he knew where I was. He knew, okay? It was on him to come and see his daughter, and he never did, okay? At the end of the day, I changed it to where if you want to be a part of your child's life, then you need to change and you need to put some effort in. And he didn't want to do that. And at the end of the day, I knew that keeping my child out of that situation and away from him was the best thing I could ever do for her, okay? If there's anything I ever did right as a mom, okay, as of right now, anything I ever did right, that's the one thing I know that I made the right decision, okay? And I didn't let all the mind manipulation that these people try and do to you, I didn't let that affect me anymore. Because at the end of the day, I wanted to break that toxic cycle. I did not want to continue, because if we leave these people, right, and like, if we stay away from them, right, because we know they're not good for us, why are we going to allow them to be around our children? Because at the end of the day, eventually they're going to treat the child like shit, or they're going to see the behavior on how they treat you, right? And your child's going to think that that is okay, and it's not. Of being violent, yelling, screaming, putting your hands on people, just the emotional and mental manipulation. If you know it's not good for you and you want out of that relationship, why are you going to impose that onto your child? And I've said this in previous videos, and again, you don't have to agree with me here, but at the end of the day, like, we do have a responsibility for your child to give, why are we going to keep them trapped, right? When we ourselves know, like, we don't want to be in that situation. We know it does nothing but cause us heartache. So, our children, they don't have a choice, right? Like, my daughter, She didn't have a choice. I chose to bring her here, okay? At the end of the day, I chose to keep her and to bring her here. So she doesn't have a choice on how everyone else around us affects her, right? So it's my job as a parent, as a mother, to keep her out of like experiencing the pain that I had to go through. I didn't want her to have to go through that. And so I guess that's what I'm trying to say. 10 minutes of rambling. You know, you do, again, that's just my opinion, okay? I understand the mentality of not wanting to keep someone from their child, but sometimes in some situations, especially when the person has showed you how violent they can be, we have to step in, not only for ourselves but for our children. And we don't want them to have to experience that type of pain, okay? So that's just my opinion. So now I'm gonna pull some cards and see just what I can pick up. You know, I just felt like speaking about that. I guess I can I'll put a timestamp in the description when I start pulling cards, because maybe not everyone wants to hear me speak about that. I don't know. So, you know, I hope that, I don't know, I just felt like saying that at first, and, you know, reading those comments yesterday really, like, I you know, I get it. I felt it. So, me. You know, and I know how it feels to feel like, to be stuck in that. That's the only way I can say it. It's a toxic karmic cycle, okay? And I know how it is and it's even worse when you have a child. I get it. It's even harder to think about not ever dealing with someone again. Like, you don't want to be that person, right? Well, sometimes you need to be that bitch, okay? And you're not, okay? We're not really bitches, okay? But maybe other people may view us, you're a bitch, you're keeping his kid from him. Well, I'm doing it for a reason, okay? That's how you have to. You can't let everybody else's opinion about you bring you down and keep you stuck. You want to think I'm a bitch that keeps my child from their father? Then fine, you can go ahead and think that. Because at the end of the day, maybe those other people don't know what he's done to you, okay? Okay, this fell out. Signs. Material world. Yeah, a lot of times these, I don't want to say just men, because women are like this too, okay? Women can be narcissistic, evil people too, okay? So, communication at the bottom. This person might very well, I'm sorry. Forgive me. They may very well want to speak to you. I'm getting though lots of signs in terms of, you know, spirit. If, you know, you believe in, I believe more in angels and spirits that help us here. Yes, I believe in God, but I feel like there's more, just for me personally, I feel more presence of different, like just angels and spirit guides. And I feel my past loved ones, you know, family members around me. And they're always, they give you subtle signs, right? Like repeating numbers and different things to get your attention. Really, too, like how sometimes I get messages is through music. Like if a song comes on that like it just speaks to me in different ways, they do little things like that to let you know you are going in the right direction. Keep, just to keep going. Crossroads. You may very well feel you're at a crossroads right now. It's almost like a fork in the road, right? And I feel like, though, whoever watches over you it's like pointing the signs. They're trying to show you signs like, hey, go this way. Let's go this way. Let's go this way now. Okay? Because we've already been this way and it didn't work, right? It's stuck attached to someone that only cares about maybe material things, right? Kind of what gives them self-gratification, right? Like money, buying shit, drugs, being stuck, right? But there's a sense of, because I was with someone who constantly would, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, no. Surrender at the bottom. There's a feeling of really needing to let go. And like the unknown is scary, right? Especially when we get stuck in these toxic situations for so long. Again, and you bring children into it, it's hard. It's hard to get out of, the cycle of just being pulled back. Okay, it is very difficult to explain unless you go through it, right? Which obviously I think the person that left me those comments, I think they know what I'm speaking about. Action. Yeah, maybe right now something is trying to get you lessons at the bottom. Something is trying to get you to take action, right? To go, I feel, in a different direction. You need to move away from this person that is, I just keep getting pulled to this card. We can forgive people, right? For the way that they treated us and move on though, right? There was a lesson that still I feel needs to be learned here. But I do feel like a sense of that you are going in the right direction. I feel there's a sense here that you need to stay strong and not let whoever that person is to you, don't let them, like bring you down. Like, I know it's very hard. Let me pull some tarot now. Yeah, 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, and the Ace of Wands at the bottom. Something is awakening, I feel, within you, to reevaluate. It's almost like I'm getting like thinking about everything, right? Like, but really something's trying to get you to go in a different direction, like reevaluate everything that everything that you went through with this person. Like, I feel like it's almost like I feel a sense of it's time to, right? Like, we went down this road before and we always arrive at the same place, right? So now it's like, okay, now we need to reevaluate this again. And are we really going to go down the same road just to arrive at the same place, right? So it's like, I feel like Spirit is trying to get you to kind of open up to, hey, let's go try this. Let's go down here. Okay. And really go down there though, right? Like for a long period of time. Okay. Long enough to break whatever this wall is. I feel that this person, or almost like a veil, right, needs to kind of be lifted. Okay. And I feel like that's happening. Yeah, the 8 of Swords. There's a lot of mental stuff. I understand being in that type. Yeah, Three of Swords just popped out when I did that. There's been a lot of heartache and mental stuff that this person, you know, I know how it is to be in a relationship with someone that manipulates mentally, not just physically and verbally. It's a mental, right? I just said that, and the Four of Pentacles, it makes you feel very like the mind games. That's all I can say. Like, if you know, I understand the mind manipulation that people can have on us, okay? And it makes you feel crazy, and it makes you feel like, right? But then you throw in that love factor too, right? Like, this person is, you know, it's like we hold on to that feeling when we first encounter someone, right? Like that first feeling of, I'm so in love with this person, you know, like it's new and you haven't experienced anything negative, right? Like there hasn't been any negative experiences yet. It's like we hold on to that. And that, unfortunately, sometimes in my case, that was fake. And I fell for it. And that's what kept me attached to him for so long. Because it's like I kept remembering like the first 6 months, right? And it's like, it was so great, it was so fun, and we were so in love. But then that starts to break down, and you start seeing someone for who they are. But it's like we only want to hang on to that experience when it was so great and wonderful. And that can, right? The Five of Swords, that can control us mentally to keep us attached to someone who is not good for us. Okay, it literally can keep us, I mean, this is a lot of heavy shit. The Five of Swords and the Eight of Swords, okay? And then the Three of Swords. This is a lot. This reads to me as, right, with this Four of Pentacles, this has been a lot of mental mind manipulation and controlling going on here. And I think I said this in my last video, a lot of times too, spiritually, stuff goes on that you cannot see. These people that treat us like dirt and keep us attached, they keep you attached too, because spiritually, they have evil shit attached to them. And what that does, when they attach, right, when we get into relationships with these people, and we're at heart a good person, right? I don't care, we all make mistakes and do stupid things. But at the core of who we are, right, we're good people, right? And we care. And people like that are actually just not good people, they attach themselves to us because it's a good supply for them, right? Like in the physical world and in the spiritual sense, because they have evil entities attached to them, and it's like, oh, this great bright light, you know, let's attach to them, and they're gonna feed, you know, and keep us roped in, because it's that narcissistic feeding their supply, right? They literally feed off of us, okay? The Moon at the bottom. A lot of illusions, right? But mentally, a lot of mind games. But I feel like, yeah, the Fool at the bottom, there's been some sort of, I feel, clarity in a way. I feel like there's more that needs to happen here, but I feel like for you and your situation, I feel like you're going in the correct direction. But there is still a sense here that I'm feeling too, that really think about things and really pay attention, just to how you're feeling, and to, right, this person could very well send you messages, communication of how much they love you, and two, it's hard too, if we've had a hard childhood and we haven't had the best example of how to love, right? Or what a good love looks like, right? It's very easy to get fooled when someone wants to communicate how sorry they are and how much they love us and forgive me. It's very easy to fall for it. You know, me and my situation, you know, I didn't have, you know, I had a horrible example of what real love is supposed to be, how people are supposed to treat each other in relationships. I had an awful example, you know, and I've had to learn the hard way, but I've finally reached a place where it's like, I will never repeat that cycle again, because I was in a couple relationships that were just not good, okay? And it's hard though, right? Again, when that's the only kind of, we don't know, really have any other examples of, you know, how we're supposed to be loved. That is love, right? When these horrific like things people do to us, you know, that's, you know, my father was horrific to me, so that's all I knew, right? That was my example, you know. And unfortunately, my mother did not pick nice people to date, besides my father, and so that was also my example too. It just, that's all I knew, is, you know, men that were just not nice. A Chariot turned over, and the Three of Cups. Yeah. I really feel like if you can, as hard as it is, if you can move past and go in a new direction, I feel like it's going to be fast though. Like once you really get into that mindset and really step into going and cutting it off, completely off from whoever, you know, whoever this person is, I feel like your life is going to move ahead very fast, right? Three of Cups at the bottom, maybe you will meet better people, you know. Three of Cups, friends, relationships, that will be better. I just split the deck in half, the Knight of Wands. If you know, we all have, at the end of the day, we have our own, like, we can choose not to listen, right? But I feel like if you choose to go down a road maybe you've never gone down before, or, you know, just, I feel like there's, right, the Empress, I just split. I feel like this is kind of reading to me too as like almost in a way, in a new beginning, like a new beginning, not only for yourself, but just for everything around you, right? Really stepping into this energy and not being afraid, okay? And the Knight of Wands, you may very well meet someone that is, you know, will treat you good, right? Because the Knight of Wands is can speak of romance, but I feel like, yeah. And then the Four of Swords, there needs to be, instead of, don't focus on that too much, because I made that mistake, okay? I made that mistake too soon, right? Like, of trying to latch on to other people when my lesson was to really, and I'm still doing it, okay, to Four Swords, heal yourself, okay? Really step into this energy, you know, heal yourself, take care of your family, your friends, people that are important to you, your children. You know, it's like, don't focus so much. We can't be so worried about what this other person's gonna do, right? we can get, oh yeah, the Ace of Swords, or Page of Swords, sorry. We get so caught up in our mind of thinking, you know, what is this, what's going to happen? What is this person going to do? And this is just from my experience. This doesn't mean this is how it is for you. But in my experience in dealing with people like that, they're not going to do anything. They run their mouth. They're all bark and no bite. And I was scared of it for 10 years. Okay. But once I kind of stepped into a different, it's hard to explain, right? That Empress energy, okay? You step into that and you just can't be scared anymore, right? Like there's a feeling of like, I just feel like saying that. People like that, they only care about themselves, okay? They don't care about you. They care that they can control you and manipulate you to get you to do what they want. But if you're not doing what they want anymore, there's no use for you anymore. And they're not going to try. Yeah, they might try a little bit, but there's no there's no real feeling there of, you know, it's just a way, they're just manipulative. And at the end of the day, they don't really, you know what I mean? You know, they don't really care enough to go and really ruin your life and, you know, make your life a living hell, you know. They don't, that is just something that they say to scare you. Okay? Yeah, the Ace of Swords. Wow. Yeah, a lot of stuff mentally going on. I feel like, though, you know now, like you're seeing someone, right? Seeing this person kind of for who they are. I'm gonna pull some of these. Magician. Yeah, sometimes people that, you know, that are not good for us and that keep us pulled into their toxic, abusive crap, you know, it's like working their magic, right? It's like, what the hell is, like, I always remember thinking, like, sometimes, like, what the hell is wrong with me, right? Like, why do I keep, but it's just so, it's just an energy and it's hard to explain, you know, but yeah, I feel like, you know, too, let's just turned over educator. If you need to step out, right? Because I had this 3 of, where did it go? I had the 3 of Cups come out. Where is it? Oh, maybe that was at the bottom of the deck. But I know I had the 3 of Cups turn over. If you need to step outside of, like, maybe reach out to some sort of, maybe get counseling, some sort of help outside of maybe just like talking to someone that you know, maybe you need to talk to a friend, a family member, again, maybe go to therapy. That's what this is making me feel like. I need help, right? I need some sort of outside source, therapist, again, friend, family member, because I had that 3 of Cups, and the 3 of Cups is a community, like friends and family. I need some sort of maybe extra help on getting away from this person and the shit that they pull. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much the message. Too many. Just kind of what I wanted to say, you know, personally, and I feel like that is pretty that's pretty much, that aligns with what I was just speaking about before I started pulling cards here. Yeah, nothing else wants to turn over. At the bottom, researcher, maybe you need to do your research in terms of, you know, how to maybe reach out, again, extra help in terms of, you know, how to deal with staying away from someone that is actively trying to manipulate you, you know. Three of Pentacles at the bottom, like actively trying to come together with you. And when you are feeling that you should go in a different direction. Yeah. The Magician and the Seven of Cups. There's a heavy feeling here of like, it's like I'm right there. I'm right in front of this door, right? It's like you have all, like, everything you need to kind of know, like, to make a decision. But with the Seven of Cups, it's like, I'm tempted to go back that way. And I feel like, though, there is a heavy feeling here of, let's not, you know, at the end of the day, you can only do what you feel is right. You know, and, you know, I can't tell anybody what to do. Okay. You have to make that decision, like, for yourself. Just like I made the decision for myself, like nobody influenced me. You know, I made the decision. And yeah, the Two of Pentacles really kind of, I feel like, though, and this is just my opinion from the energy I can feel, the Two of Pentacles, you're trying to weigh out your options right now. Like, do I really want to go down the road that I've already been down, or do I want to step and go in a new direction? And I feel like if you go in a new direction and really go a different way, like a new way, away from whoever it is you're dealing with, Ten of Pentacles at the bottom, it will be very satisfying for you. Pentacles can speak of money. This is more, and like the Ten of Cups is more emotionally fulfilled, but I feel like if you do go in a new direction and choose not to deal with toxic people and toxic situations, it will benefit you, obviously, not only emotionally, right, and mental relief, but it will be maybe benefit you monetarily, okay? You will be more satisfied that way. Maybe this person took a lot of money from you. Again, I'm not telling you not to deal with someone. I'm just, yes, I'm sharing, like, giving you my opinion on what I've been through, but you know, everyone's situation is different, and I don't ever want to influence anyone. Like, you just have to make the decision for yourself, you know. Don't hang on, like, my every word, right? Which, you know, I'm sure you won't. Okay, and then all right, so yeah, I've been kind of feeling this, and I didn't really want to speak about it too much, but I feel like if you go down a new path and choose to go a different way, right? Ten of Swords, this very well may be painful for you, even more painful than it is now, okay? Like, I don't know, I feel like saying that, like, as much pain as you're in, like, now, but this can talk about it will be better, okay, in the long run, okay? And I had this flip over, the Knight of Cups. And I had, the Knight of Wands when I opened the deck, and then the Knight of Cups. I feel like if you choose to go in a new direction for yourself and really let go, like fully let go, okay, and not give two shits And like, it's almost like the feeling is never look back, okay? I feel like if you choose to go that way, because you can choose to go in a different way, right? You can choose to go back and deal with, okay? But I feel like if you choose to go in a new direction, there is good connections out there, okay? Waiting. The Knight, I had a lot of Knight energy because I had the Knight of Cups and then the Knight of Wands. Knights, just be careful though, because it can be very fast, right? Try not, like, there's a sense of that I'm picking up. Look for things at the very beginning, right? Don't ignore the red flags. Like, go slow, okay? And if someone doesn't want to go slow, well, then move on, okay? Like, but there is a sense here of there is something else that a nice energy that I'm picking up, that very well could be for you in the future, right? But we need to, if you want that, then we need to end toxic karmic cycles and really step into going in a new direction and not being afraid. Okay, I have the nine of Wands at the bottom. Do not fight, right? Like, don't fight against your own happiness. Okay? And what I mean by that is, like, sometimes like it's weird to think that this is out there waiting for us, okay? Like, that's kind of, I don't know, does that make sense? It's kind of hard for me to explain. Yeah, the Nine of Swords. Sometimes we self-sabotage, right? Like, we're scared to think that we could actually be happy with someone, right? That someone could actually treat us with respect and, you know, not be mentally and physically violent and emotionally violent. You know, so we self-sabotage. Nine of Swords, we get, you know, and it's like we run back the other way. Okay, and I have the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups can talk about maybe someone, and who knows, like maybe someone from your past, but this is kind of making me feel like maybe thinking about what, like when we were younger, like how we envisioned, like how we wanted our life to be, right? Like how we wanted our love life to end up, and it didn't end up like that. But there's a sense here of, well, it still can end up that way. Maybe not like, you know, nothing is ever like a movie, right? But, you know, once we kind of worry about ourselves and really stay focused on ourselves and take care of our children and our family, it's almost like then we'll be reunited with somebody that is on our same level, okay? You need to raise your vibration and you cannot be on the same, if you are dealing with toxic people and their mind games and manipulation, that's what you're going to attract, okay? But when we stop dealing with it and completely cut it off, it's like, then we'll be reminded, people will start coming into our life that are good for us. And that, because we will be vibrating at a different level, okay? And not at a level of toxic, you know, a toxic garbage dump, you know? And it's almost like I'm getting a feeling of like, yeah, like meeting someone that we always thought about, like when we were young, you know, like whatever that looked like for you. Too many. But, oh man, I guess I think I'm gonna stop. Yeah. A death at the bottom. There needs to be, yeah, there's some sort of transformation and stuff, you know, it might not seem like it in the moment. Stuff here can seem like it moves very slowly. Being stuck here on earth in the 3D world can feel very, it just feels so weighed down and slow. Like, when is this, it's like a feeling of, when is this going to happen, right? When am I going to be happy? But there needs to be some sort of like death within yourself, and not being afraid to go in a new direction. And I feel like if you choose to do that, it will, it will be very satisfying for you. Yeah, I think that, I think that's good. That's the message. Yeah, fresh start. There needs to be, it's like it's time. Fresh start, And sometimes too, like where I am in my life right now, I'm kind of getting in that, like, I've had to go through a lot of crap to get here, okay? And then I'm having to now process and go through, I never thought in a million years that my ex would pass away. But that's what happened. And even though the relationship was not good for the most part, I'm still very deeply, like, it devastated me. And, even though he was an awful person, but I still loved him, and I wasn't perfect either, okay? I chose to fight with him and to put up with this crap, and, but at the end of the day, yes, I did love him. And it's hard, you just don't know what's going to happen in life. But I made decisions. He also made decisions, okay? And we can't, you can't control anybody, right? You can only control yourself. And, I did reach out to him many times and offer him opportunities to be a part of his daughter's life. And, it was just a couple hours plane ride away, but that was just too much. And, yes, other people may look at it as I took his daughter and I'm a complete, just awful, horrendous person. But I did the right thing, and I tried many times to get him to come out here, and that people are going to do what they want to do, and we can't control anyone but ourselves. So anyways, I'm going to go. I've preached long enough, right? I hope that kind of resonated. I'm not trying to tell you what to do or anything. But I think the comments you left me, and I think that, whatever situation you're in with that person, it really spoke to me, and it really felt very similar to mine. So, I just felt like doing this. So, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go. I appreciate you leaving me nice comments and being nice. So, not a lot of people comment on my channel, and I prefer it that way, because I know how annoying and nasty people can be, and I don't necessarily want a big audience. I don't want a lot of people watching me, and that was my intention when I started this channel. I put that energy out there because I don't want a bunch of jerks on my channel. So anyways, But, you know, too, I mean, I get lots of jerky comments, you know. It doesn't bother me, you know. But, well, sometimes it does, maybe. Just a little bit. But, yeah. Anyways. Okay. I'm gonna go. Bye.